Welcome back, everyone. Week 9, the weekly workshop for Qlik, hosted by Arc Analytics here. Today, we're going to talk about the chart types and extensions inside of Qlik Cloud or Qlik Sense. Last week, we talked about wireframing, starting to work with a little bit of that front end. Now, we're going to talk about things that can extend your capability tool set and really start pushing the limits of how to present your data and a little bit of that out-of-the-box thinking so that you're not just working with, your base bar charts or KPIs that you see in every visualization platform or, something like Excel. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to highlight here is around data literacy. And I have this linked here. I'll pull this up in a second called the Data Literacy Project. Qlik is a big backer and proponent of this, but it's a great website. The link will be here and the link will be below, but it's about testing your workforce and yourself to see where you fall on your data literacy journey, because understanding where you need to start is different than where someone else may need to start. So if you're trying to make dashboards that are above and beyond comprehension of your audience, might be something to look at to kind of either train up your audience a little bit to make them a little more data literate, or match the tone of your audience accordingly. So we'll look at data literacy project in a minute. The next thing we're going to talk about is chart types in Qlik Cloud, and really just going over the out-of-the-box chart types. So those bar charts, the line charts, things like that. And then we're going to jump into extensions. So I have these two here, and I'm going to jump forward in a second, but there are premium extensions out there for Qlik. And it's important to understand that these extensions allow you to do a lot of different things. And the premium one specifically, Vizlib has things like write back and collaboration and Gantt charts, so that depending on the product suite that you choose, it gives you different capabilities. If you want to use Qlik as more of a project management software, or if you want to do write back and have it more of a form or an entry and a data entry system, you can do that capability. And these extensions got really popular, early on. Now Qlik is starting to take some of these things back. Like the Gantt chart is now, people are making extensions for that. Same thing with write back. Qlik now has a write back tool as of about a month ago or something. So these premium extensions are starting to become, less and less in the marketplace, but they're out there and we'll look at them. And we are a reseller for both Vizlib and Piplana. So if you're interested in that, we can definitely get you started what those look like. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to let Austin really dive into these, is Qlik, the original Qlik Garden, which was for an open source style. Let me start that one. The next thing we'll jump into here are the free Qlik extensions, and this is really anything that someone has developed on the original Qlik Garden. That was more of the open source kind of landscape and community around Qlik View and Qlik Sense. Now, as of recently, there's a new platform called Qlik Garden, which is just that. It's a community of people and companies and industries that have shared their Qlik specific extensions out there. So there's a lot of great little packages that people have developed that even if Qlik doesn't come with something out of the box, it gives you the capability to do so. And we'll show that here in a minute. This is just a quick snapshot of Vizlib. Here is something that we've made for a demo. These are all Vizlib objects. So, if you're familiar with Qlik and you're used to seeing these, you'll notice that you do get a lot more styling capabilities. You get Venn diagrams. This is before, the KPI container kind of existed. And you can really start to fine tune some of these things. So Vizlib has a bunch of other products in this suite. They have the library. They have Vizlib Finance, which is more for creating P&Ls. They have the Vizlib self-service, and then they have the Gantt chart, which I mentioned is more of like a project management style view that you typically see. And then write back. Write back is really popular. Vizlib. Here's a snapshot of Qlik Garden. Like I mentioned, it's this open source community. You can come in here, you can browse and search around. And this is where I'm going to hand it off to Austin. He's going to walk us through downloading something, installing it into Qlik Cloud, and how to use it.
So looking now, we want to take stock perhaps of the actual visualization options that you get out of the box with Qlik. And then we can also see more about the extensions. So out of the box, you're going to find this on the left under charts, the charts tab on the left. And everything under visualizations here is, the sort of charts and tables that you're going to add data to actually create visualizations. And then you also have things called dashboard objects, which are more like controls that you can use to make actions happen, make things happen. That would be things like buttons that you can add. Animator object is something that lets you step through to create animation type, fluid motion sort of thing. And then you also have really powerful objects like the layout container, which allows you to group multiple objects into one kind of smaller canvas that's still resizable and highly customizable. So you can layer multiple objects onto each other. Really powerful and a great way to style and customize your dashboard. And these are all really good ways of being able to see your data in a number of ways and interact with it in a number of ways. Because you can group, you can see charts that allow you to add multiple numbers and multiple kind of discrete categories, like scatter plots and bar charts. You can see one-shot numbers like KPIs and gauges. You also have really powerful ways to filter your data using things like the filter pane. And then you also have, tabular views like pivot tables, write tables, which allow you to actually update data in the back end, and just classic straight tables. Something you'll notice are these little green dots, which when you hover gives you a little blurb here with a link to learn more about these. These are little green dots next to new objects. So something to just make note of is with Qlik being a SaaS platform, there's no upgrading that you have to go through or that an administrator has to go through. You're just going to see new charts the moment they are released and available. And they're denoted with these little green marks here with a little button to show you documentation on how to use it. So Qlik is constantly updating, constantly giving you new features. But you get the peace of mind of, you have these legacy features, charts and tables that Qlik has, maybe replaced with a newer version or it's just phasing out, but you're still able to use them. So you're not worried about your dashboards that you used to create, not working anymore. So anyways, you get a lot of out-of-the-box features, visualizations, tables, and controls to help you customize and make a fully functional and immersive dashboard. So now these are all the out-of-the-box stuff. If I go to custom objects on the left, which is where we grabbed our uploaded extension, so all of your uploaded extensions are going to show up in that first part under extensions. But then you also you see other groups as well, which include Vizlib, which JC mentioned is a paid premium set of extensions that offer much more customization, interaction options, and can really help you supercharge your dashboards and can make them much more functional applications. And you can see they're all grouped by their function or the type of product that they are. And you also get kind of specialized objects like a finance report option, which is tailored towards that sort of use case of seeing financial P&L statements, that sort of thing. So all told, enough just to emphasize, you are able to find free and open source or paid and premium extensions that are all created just with JavaScript, HTML, CSS that you're able to add to Qlik Sense to expand the options beyond what's out of the box, although you get a lot out of the box.
All right, thanks, Austin. So that wraps up week 9 here of covering chart types and extensions. This was really just a surface level view as an intro. The way we see it is these first 10 episodes of the workshop are really this beginner, kind of building this foundation, familiarity with Qlik, building the components, getting an intro to a little bit of everything, and then we'll start really unpacking things as we drill down into them and start doing some more intermediate, advanced, focused sessions. So thanks for sticking with us here, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.
Thanks, y'all.